Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Metagame Minute. Your once weekly Chaotic Amateurs follow-up podcast. Except we're not once weekly with this bitch. These are the special editions. These are the special takes with our special guest host and friend O'Shea, who has been leading the way through this intriguing and mystifying episode. What do you guys want to talk about? First of all, we fucking wrecked those Ember Hulks.
I know, right?
Sick.
Jesus.
That felt so good. And I missed more attacks this time than I did last time. I just had some good damage rolls, burned my abilities fast rather than hanging on to them like a fool. Thinking like I can't spend these abilities if I'm dead. Gotta spend them now.
It's pretty crazy that you guys kept landing attacks despite averting your eyes. I mean, fucking Ren didn't even need to avert his eyes, but they kept missing for some reason. They were just whiffing all day. They were lucky to get one attack in each turn.
Yeah. Honestly, after that, I really feel like clerics are they need to be nerfed almost. Like, just so freaking powerful.
Cleric is the one class I have yet to play in 5e. But every time you're building new characters, and I like to do a lot of research and see kind of like where the meta falls and things. And not because like I'm that type of player, but like, it helps me to think like what the optimizations are, where the strengths are. And I can kind of build a character from there a little bit.
I do the same kind of thing. I think about like what can be done in the game.
Yeah.
And then I kind of think about, okay, well, how would that tie into like character traits? And then I kind of go from there.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I did Arthur in the other campaign, was thinking about how to optimize a storm sorcerer. And originally I had a lot more goodies that were tied into a homebrew warlock class that Alex and I had worked on that strengthened a lot of my storm sorcerer features. That's not the case anymore. Now I'm basically just a storm sorcerer warlock split. So it's not as cool as it was going to be. But I want to talk about this room so bad, but let's talk about some of the other stuff first. Well, what's it? We beat the Ember Hulks.
Yeah, wasting my spell slot for us to sneak by and then realizing, well, shit, we need to fight these things anyway. So
I don't know. Do you think we had to? Do you think we had to fight him?
Well, she failed her sneak by, so I imagine if she would have passed that, it would have been.
I guess I was thinking about the chest. Was the chest like a necessary?
Oh, that is something that really irked me. Like playing ball now for almost a year, like I just have all of this utility, and Ren does not have the same utility that ball has. I was like, well, never gonna know what this thing does.
Yeah, luckily I know. Luckily, Red was here to like bring it home for us.
At least something for it. I mean, I could always do a history check. I have a decent history and stuff, so maybe something will pop up in memory of it or something. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, to me, like this whole idea of like the dead gods and things and going into like a red-haired like warrior priestess, like this feels like I'm such a fan of like the classic Conan the Barbarian stories by Robert E. Howard, like the originals.
Oh yeah.
And this feels like such a classic original like Robert E. Howard or like some of those early like sword and sorcery adventures. Red just feels like such a compelling like piece of that,
Oh fuck yeah. I'm glad she's starting to I'm glad I'm getting to RP her a little bit more in this episode. And
she really has a voice for sure.
She does.
To build on like the Conan stuff. Do you guys like imagine like how D&D looks in your head with an art style?
Yeah, definitely Franzetta.
Exactly, Franzetta. That's what I like to imagine too. And so like if I can like channel that, like that's what I imagine in my head. Or if you've ever seen like heavy metal, like
yeah, it's funny is like I think about that a lot now, and actually like O'Shea's the one that put me onto heavy metal, and it's like heavy metal is so D&D at its core in a way, because it's like an 80s nostalgic fantasy that like it just doesn't really exist that much anymore in like pop culture. And D&D feels like eternally trapped in like rich 80s fantasy to me. Like,
okay, but Ren is 100% Adventure Time. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. You were talking about your cute bugbears and everything, and I was going to think about, like, I don't know if you remember the assassin cat. I can't think of its name, but there's a tiny little cat that like goes to kill a princess, and it goes inside of Jake. It's like poisoning Jake from the inside, and it's just,
Jesus.
and every time, you know, he's like, "I'm a cute cat," but then he's like fucking trying to kill Jake. Anyway, I was thinking about that for your guys. Speaking of Adventure Time, so.
They're definitely like little candies that are just like floating around in the kingdom.
But see, Adventure Time is like kind of got that rich 80s fantasy vibe too. Like Adventure Time has like,
Sure,
I feel a piece of heavy metal with like this, with the through arc of like the like, you know, what's that, like the crystal or the rock or whatever in heavy metal that they're like trying to get in each thing that kind of connects each story in little ways. And
Yeah, the orb thing.
the orb, that's totally Adventure Time, kind of like
Mhm.
with the Lich and the Enchiridion and like, yeah,
It's just like, it's like shitty, but not shitty. It's like simple. It's, I don't
it's
know.
not simple, dude. It's legit. It's
I don't know.
nostalgic. It's
It's
nostalgic.
nostalgic.
Yeah, it's, anyway, we could wax about that forever, but so how are we
Definitely
doing?
have
Go
the
ahead.
not so subtle riddle in here.
Yeah. So first of all, also, yeah, this room with the mirrors, fucking badass, O'Shea. Also badass description of the emblem, and I was very nervous to give this to Red, but thinking about this room and the riddle, maybe she won't have it that long.
I don't think she's going to have it very long, which is kind of sad. Yeah. When you were describing the room and the mirrors, was there something like in the mirrors that we didn't see in the room? I was trying to
The
pick
chest.
up on something like that.
There's
Okay.
a chest in the
There's-
reflections.
Exactly. It's only in the reflections, but not in the room.
Yeah. So my mind goes to she needs to die. I need to go into the mirror and get the chest. Is what
But
needs to happen.
Your mind doesn't go to sacrificing yourself.
No way in hell. No.
I know it's kind of funny because we came here to like cure my cancer and all this sort of stuff, but I'm kind of already thinking in my mind, like, well, like I've already lived a long time. I don't know how long she's lived, like, or what race she is. I can't remember. But you know, Duroc is over
Isn't she an
300.
elf? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she
I
was an elf,
think
wasn't
it's
she?
an elf. Yeah, I thought so too.
She's a human, but
Oh, okay.
This says an old woman on my notes. So,
Elf
Well,
is cooler. I almost changed it because you said that, but no, she's a human.
The way I look at it is we have a goal here. We have a goal after this goal.
That's a good
and
point.
She is with her god, essentially, if we kill her.
That's a good point. And not only that, but like, you know, and she's talking about hanging on to the item. And one of the things I was thinking of was like, oh, well, like maybe I should go with the people that have shit to do and can use it because like you've just been here for years. And not saying that's not important, but I think it's like a different caliber. Like,
and I think that's part of the reason Ren was not hesitant about letting her like hold on to it too. Is like she's been here, she said, for quite a while.
Yeah,
like just waiting for me essentially to come here and letting her be connected with her god is something like I've had a lot of connection with my god, and giving her that opportunity after she's sought it for so long
that's
feels
a sweet
good
sentiment. I like that actually. Like you're paying it forward. You're like, this would mean a lot to me if it were me.
Ren is a very sensitive guy.
We're the fucking Make-A-Wish Foundation today.
You're like, okay, you've waited long enough. I guess you can have this.
O'Shea, so is there anything that you want to share with us that doesn't break the illusion of what we have going forward about like what we did, what you were hoping to do?
We can
also
also
dissect it
solve
more.
the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes the braziers or
yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes people overthink puzzles and then like it just becomes like a slog. And you guys kind of figured it out right away. I only gave you like maybe like one hint, I think, because I think every party deserves like one hint.
Yeah.
But you guys got it, which was nice.
Yeah.
Like from a game design perspective, I always kind of like try to think about how much time everything's going to take up, and I'm super glad that it didn't take up like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, technically did, but because you guys fought stuff. So
Yeah, we fought a lot, but that was fun to win really hard. I got
Yeah,
to live
I
out
think
the meme for a second.
I think that we
Cowabunga it
did
is.
figure out the puzzle when we were in that room. It was just like, yeah, let's just do the dumb thing since we're all here. We kind of know what we need to do, but like at the
Yeah.
same time, while we're here, let's do the dumb thing. You know,
Yeah.
do the same thing that we've done in the past and hope for different results.
Yeah, and it's hard for Duroc to leave monsters behind. I mean, I was willing to do it, but it's hard for him to do that, you know?
yeah, you guys almost snuck past, and like I thought she was gonna just like walk through there with good stealth checks, but nope. Sometimes you just roll shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
She
Dude,
engaged him.
that's the beauty of the game. What's the point if you're not rolling dice? You know, I mean, I love role playing, but there's stuff like that needs to be determined by the dice. So
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the interesting thing about I don't know, playing over Zoom and stuff is like there's an opportunity for any of us to just lie. Like it would be super easy because
Yeah.
oh no, that's a natural 20 and I did it. But I don't feel like when we play any of our games, I don't think any of us do. I feel
no,
like
and
we
that's
all want that. Oh well, this is a negative thing and we have to play through it.
right, exactly. Well, because it's fun. What's the point? Like, at least for me, you know. And Alex, our other DM, O'Shea, he had a really good way of framing it that I actually appreciated, which was like, look, if like I like rolling dice and I like the randomness of that and playing it out and seeing I play to see what happens. If somebody has to lie to like have fun, that's on them. That's not me. But like that's what it means for them to have fun. I'm not gonna like judge them for it. It's like I'd rather they didn't, but I don't think any of us do. Like it feels we all just enjoy the spirit of like what's going to happen, you know, what is going to I mean, the interesting things happen when you fail. So that's the beauty. Like you can look cool when you succeed, but the interesting role playing aspect seems to come out more when you lose. So you have to think faster. You have to like work through the problems that you would have otherwise tried to avoid, you know?
Yeah, like I think you guys, if you hadn't have engaged those Umber Hulks on accident, if she hadn't have like tripped up and you could have missed that chest, wouldn't have got that. I think that's the only thing. You wouldn't have got to wreck shit.
Yeah.
That's always a fun thing about
Primary.
D&D too is those things that you pass up. Like you're never gonna know what those are.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I was fully prepared to pass up that chest, even though I knew it was there and it sounded really cool.
I was thinking maybe we get it on the way out. You know, like that's where Dark's like,
Well, our health is still pretty good. I mean,
you want to go kill 4 Umber Hulks? Here, hold this, Red. Hand her my bag.
Hey, she helped. She did a little damage.
Yeah, dude. We're totally like Finn and Jake. Ren and Duroc. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I see it.
The first thing to being good at something. Wait, I ruined it. Whatever. Fuck me. Ruined all my quotes today.
You're good.
O'Shea, is there anything else that you want to share about this before we go and do our next session?
No, I'm good.
All right, guys, this has been the Metagame Minute. Thanks for sticking with us. This special. This is the first time that Ren and Duroc have been back together, and we're excited to see what else happens. So we'll catch you here, same place, same time. Grab your sword and keep on adventuring.